All right, Grings. Okay. So I have to get up early tomorrow. So we have an early video today. I didn't get to answer many questions or anything, so I have to get up. Jeez. Just the way it is. So we have UFO Blue Ridge Mountains. So it's happened to that. Also, Fort Bragg. That's part of the military. And I've talked about this before in the past. Interesting about Blue Ridge Mountains, or it's more like Asheville, North Carolina. There's some kind of military energy. It's probably underground, but something about Asheville, North Carolina, does not feel right. It's not to say it's the people that live there. It's just something that it feels like it's underground somewhere. At least that's the vibe I'm getting. Because it's not above ground. It's not around the people there. And that's why I'm tapping into Fort Bragg, because it's only 4 hours away. And I'll show that here in a second. It's like one of the largest, or is one of the largest military oaths that we are aware of, at least publicly. One of the largest military presence, or yeah, something like that. Military. I don't know what they're militarying about, but it's classified. Yeah, those Illuminati wars. Yeah. So there's a lot of secret wars going on that we don't know anything about. So that's what our military has been used for mostly. They talk about actors being puppets. What about the military? So, especially the Black Ops stuff. And there's probably some Black Ops stuff, and there's Black Ops everywhere. But yeah, just Asheville, North Carolina. There's just something there that doesn't feel right. Like I said, it's not the city. It's just whatever it's underground or whatever, wherever it is. So, and it's funny. It's worse than Maryland or anything in Washington area, which you think that would be worse. So, at least at this point, not that I'm looking for any of that. It's just the vibe I'm getting from Asheville is just not great. So we'll just connect to alien energy on that. And while we're at it, Fort Detrick, they do like biological weapons and stuff like that. Like we went through it in 2020. And it's funny, I did a video about this before. Fort Detrick was shut down. I forget, like 6 months or something like that before the outbreak happened in 2020. I think it just finally opened up, and all of a sudden we're under siege, something like that. But it's a shady place. So, because North Carolina has a place like that too. It might be University of North Carolina. They get like diseases, and then they start messing with them. It's like, oh yeah, we'll just weaponize this sucker, and they pass it around to their friends. And they're just passing it all over the place. They send it to Ukraine, and they do a little add-on, and then they unleash it on the population. At least that's a conspiracy theory. Anyway, and Westall UFO. I think I'm Westall. That's in Australia. I just saw this recently of. Always on a documentary about a UFO sighting at a school. And I've heard others, I don't know if it was, this is different. There's others where actual being shows up. That wasn't this one. It just flew around. One thing about Australia, though, there's a lot of reptilians there. Just a lot. Just like it's like a reptilian, refugee camp over there. It's almost, it feels like the reptilians that are in Australia. Of course, it's more Melbourne area, but obviously they had all the lockdowns and everything, and Australia is not easy for anybody. It's like an oven there, just to drive everybody insane. it feels like the reptilian. It sounds strange, but the reptilians that are there, like hidden somewhere wherever they are, it's like they can't leave. It's like they made that their home, and they got nowhere else to go. Now, there's different type of reptilian beings all over the place, but these are near the fourth dimension, of course, but they can't be seen physically. You never know. You just never know. Yeah, go. I mean, I've heard channelings not through me, but with others. Oh yeah, those reptilians are found. It's like, is there like any evidence of that? I mean, you can say that all day long, but these people like write news articles or something, or doing press or anything like that. No, so it's like, okay, whatever. I mean, yeah, people can find reptilian energies all the time. Even in like West Virginia, there's caves there. You can just feel those. It's like, hey, like those have been found. I mean, there's energies there. But it's not a fourth dimensional level. Yes, all that stuff's been found, but physically, like you have physical evidence, probably not. So yeah, it gets weird there. But Westall UFO sighting, it basically was just I think it was just a saucer just flew over the school and like hung out there for a while and then flew off into a field and the kids went to chase it. And then it kind of did some tricks there and then it took off, something like that. So that's good. As I was connected to Australia, just follow the reptilian frequencies there. So I just figured I'd share that. So yeah, the Blue Ridge Mountain energy is obviously connected to more of the positive side of it, but also kind of the shady areas too. I think it's for those that can handle it. Some can't handle it. They got a long ways to go. It's like, oh, you're just being negative. It's like, okay, whatever. That means you're just not there yet. You're not at your neutral area quite yet. And there's nothing wrong with that. But they're just seeing one side of the coin. I mean, you see both sides, it makes things a lot easier. Of course, not everybody's going to be up for that. It's kind of like, light and dark or positive and negative. It's almost like race. Like if you don't care about anybody's race, anybody's skin color, that's cool. But others are still having difficulty with that. So anyway, San Antonio Comic Pro sessions. We have a scheduler. We have a shop here. Maybe everything's slow. Yeah, I didn't get to answer anything today on that. The webinar tomorrow, social network behind the scenes. Internet's all, I don't know, it's all that GT, whatever it is, chat. So we have Asheville here. Something about this Black Mountain, Asheville. You have this forest here. I can't pronounce that. What kind of name is that for? But anyway, it's something around the Asheville area that's kind of odd. Overall, it's a good vibration. Yeah, there's military presence, of course. But here, maybe they have some kind of like underground bunker for like the end of the world or something. Something's there that we'll probably never know about. Of course, we have Fort Bragg. So we have Fort Bragg here. That's okay. It's 4 hours away. And it's the largest military installation in the world by population. So, yeah. That's the only reason why I kind of put the two together. I mean, it might not be anything. And again, it might be something. I've connected this before in the past. Yeah, it's just, of course they're making it look cool and everything. Get ready to be a puppet for the government. Jeez. Yeah, we're all keeping you safe. I'm sure they are. Whatever they're creating over there. And, of course, you have the Westall UFO situation here. That's pretty much, they're chasing the UFO. I'm not sure what that's about. But that's yeah, I don't know about all this stuff over here. Yeah. So yep. So they have their that's their, I guess, somewhat version of a Roswell, no crash or anything like that, but it's kind of still famous there. So tap into those frequencies. Tap into the Blue Ridge Mountain energies. Definitely a lot of portals. Yes, much of it is underground. There's Palladian, a network of Palladian beings that are there. To protect this Earth Alliance, make sure we don't blow ourselves up. Well, interesting about the Palladian, at least obviously there's other alien races there, but the Palladian energy there is just, it's monitoring our frequency, but it's just really, they kind of plug into the planet. That's one of the places I can do it. To just monitor how we're doing on an energy level wise, for, even tap into future timelines, things like that. They don't always know the future. They can't obviously interfere, because if they could, they want to interfere with 2020. And there's just some things that they might have tried to stop that and it didn't work, because I believe they stopped other type of plague situations that could have easily happened. So I'm being careful with my words also, because YouTube is it's got problems. So all right, we'll see what we got here. So all right, going to Fort Detrick a little bit, and then Westall UFO energy. So all right, blessings. Here you go. Brings you consciousness of the Blue Ridge Mountains. Of course, there are alien energies that are always going to connect to the mountain ranges, yes, for their own health, because they connect to humans, and they can get sick. So connecting to the mountains can also reset an alien's energy. So because there's so much negativity here on the planet, the aliens have to have somewhere, some kind of cover to go. To recuperate their energy. Now they can go off planet. They can do that also, but they can also connect to the planet. And the Blue Ridge Mountains is basically, it's like, here's the song of the planet itself. The planet has a rhythm, a tone to it. You might not be able to hear it in your dimension, but there's a strong one in other realities. But also the Blue Ridge Mountains, yes, there is some sensitive alien activity there that even we can't go into. Use your imagination. Yes, many alien beings, you can say, I wouldn't use the word hide, but that's where they live. They live in their ships. They live within the trees. They just, they don't always know everything that's happening here, but, to them, they're just keeping on the planet, that the planet, yes, does not tear itself apart. Because there are many agendas to do that. You can see that also with Russia. So it's always, it's this world, it's always recently knocking on the aliens' door. It's like, yes, we're trying to push this world to its brink. Can you interfere with it? So if you wonder what the aliens are doing, they truly are making sure that, you have another day here. And it's good to just not focus on what the aliens are doing. Just focus on yourself. That's healthier. If you focus on what they're doing, you can actually interfere with them, because you're trying to see what they're up to, and they can feel that. You can actually interfere with them. For Bragg, that's where, yes, a lot of toxic energy is. There's a lot of mind control going on in these military installations. They know that, of course. They don't care. Yes, a lot of it is illegal how they treat people. They treat people like slaves. Will that ever come out? It can. But it's hard to go against. It can. It just hasn't quite seemed like that, but it pretty much is. It is technically like a form of slavery. Yes, they do get paid, but still kind of They do treat people like slaves. Well, disregard for human health. They don't care until they get hurt, and then they maybe will do something about it. Yes, they do. Yeah, that's some of you know. But the UFO frequencies are, yes, you can remote view um, the Blue Ridge Mountains and receive your own healing energies. Put your intentions to connect to your own healing frequencies. And well, it can remove a great deal of fear of the unknown. But yes, you can also tap in with the aliens, even if you're not looking. They can tap into you, you can tap into them. And, there's uncertainty on both ends. There's uncertainty as a human. Even the aliens are not sure where this is all going, but they have a positive feeling that will work out for this human race, but they don't know how things are going to go. But yes, no worries of World War III, but obviously many are pushing those agendas. There are alien races pushing those agendas. Not to worry, but it's just because the human race has allowed so much darkness to happen here, that if the human race just allowed more positivity, these negative attacks will no longer be as strong as they are currently. It takes a while. Humans aren't quite used to it. You're used to a certain way of looking at the world, a certain way of living. So, we are the consciousness of Fort Detrick. There is, yes, a Palladian energy to make sure that you do not fall into, yes, the wrong hands. There is influence, yes. There are humans here that have a weakness in their energy field where they can lose control of themselves. As some of you have seen that, you see it in the news. Doesn't mean you have to concentrate on the news, but you can see that those that have a weak spot and get controlled and cause violence here on their planet. Let's put it that way. So you wonder what you're here for. Basically, you're here to bring more of a protection energy around the earth. Yes, that might sound very general, but you'd be surprised how strong it really is, especially when you're doing an astral. The astral is not always making a lot of sense. It's not intended, but yes, you can do more in the astral than you can do here. Yes, you wake up all worn out because your astral life is your real life. You can say this is still a world that's life is important. But yes, many can be lost here. Yes, many do incarnate here just to go into the astral. Like they have an anchor into the earth and they work with the earth astrally, but as a human, they still can't figure out what to do with the human side of themselves. Astrally, they can figure it all out. But the human version here is a big puzzle. And that's what you're trying to crack open is your reason for being here. Crack open the human. It's like, oh, that's why I came here. Instead of it being such a mystery, as many are going through. And even those that aren't looking for the meaning of their lives are usually looking for the meaning of their lives. Your average person is not listening to this. A lot of them are wondering what they're doing here, but they don't think about it too clearly. They just go to work, they have the family, and it's like, what do I do with myself? But they finding that answer, yes, is not as easy as it sounds. But that's what you're here to do. And you wonder why people reincarnate constantly is to, kind of get this earth out of their system. Because when you exit this world, you can also have, you can come to the front lines and incarnate again because you're already here. So you kind of get first dibs, technically. So, this is. Grace you. The Westall UFO energies. The idea, yes, is to play with the younger frequencies, the younger children energy. Well, to connect to the innocence. It's like for alien energies, alien beings, yes, this is a one way for disclosure. And there's other ways, of course. The adult human is so shut down, so off that it's difficult. So you can see a ship in the sky and they don't believe it because of the way they've been taught. But for children to see it doesn't mean that disclosure has to be only with children, not at all. It's just that that's one angle that some alien groups choose to make. So it's basically some way for humans to have some kind of relief for what you're here for, but also the alien presence that's here. Basically, as more humans are more welcoming for an alien contact, it becomes easier. But not many are looking for alien. Some are, but there's still a lot of questions of it. There's still hesitation. Well, because the human race, for the most part, would rather just the aliens to just be here and that's it. It doesn't work that way. You have to have more of a welcoming frequency. Well, at least to bring in the right ones. Of course, the wrong ones can always show up, of course. But that would have happened. I mean, technically, it happens in the fourth dimension, but you're not seeing, the bad aliens walking around physically. I mean, they have their ship and everything. It's obvious it's an alien group, and you're not seeing it here for a reason. Because you would have had your contact a long time ago, but it would have not been a nice guys. It's like it's better off you don't have anything than having someone that's just going to manipulate your reality. And there's, yes, of course, going to be some kind of growth that's happening here. But as more humans want it, realize your manifestation. Some of you, obviously, manifesting is not the easiest, but as a collective, a human collective that wants to manifest that alien connection, it is more not the cult energies, but more just like it really wants to learn. It won't make it easy. It never does, but just puts more of a connection. It doesn't mean you have to go door to door, telling people to connect to aliens. It doesn't work that way. They have to find it on their own. It's better that way. Well, it's better that they figure things out on their own. Now, astrally, many of you are working on that. And if you run into somebody physically and this comes up, yes, you might be seen as a crazy person, but you might mention it for a reason. And yeah, they might, if you're mentioning it to somebody about UFOs or spirituality, most likely somewhere within them, they needed to hear it, even if they do reject it. But it doesn't mean you need to go around preaching. It doesn't really work, but some will probably do it anyway. Once the alien agendas fully start to kick into this planet, where that's all you hear about is UFO sightings and connections. It's going to be a weird world when more of your culture turns more of an open mind to alien connections, but not of the fearful setting. And that will help you. It's stages. Of course, many show a positive alien being. Obviously, many humans here have skepticism about that, which is completely completely acceptable there. So you're healing other, because humans here have had a lot of them that are afraid of aliens have had not the best experience if that's what they're projecting. Most likely from a reality where things did not go well. Yes. And yes, you can have an alien sighting on your planet or a disclosure, and then that world can also fail afterwards. And now you have people being sent to your world. All of a sudden they're here, just like that. So that's why the alien energies they have to be careful to not interfere with this timeline too much. Because even with a positive intention can set your world into a negative direction. As some of you know, you see somebody trying to help others and it just makes things worse. The aliens can easily do that. Because many of them have interfered too much many times, especially with the oil situation. It's like, they try to deter oil explorations, some of them, for more natural resources or more healthier, without draining your resources. But obviously, it doesn't always work out too well. So send you energies. Blessings.